The Heat got the win against the Wizards on Friday night as well as Wednesday night, but Friday absolutely popped because there was a specific player that popped, and that was Bam Adebayo. He had 38 points in this game. I just want to go over basically all of his field goals in this game to show the shot profile overall because I think that was the intriguing part. Uh, and I'll show why. Is right here. I'm going to show you the shot profile. Uh, this is just a really interesting setup because you're going to see every shot except that one three that we're not going to talk about. Every shot was coming in the paint right here, as you see, and he was really efficient in this game. But you'd see this, and this is like the natural big man shot profile because it's just constant roll, constant bucket, constant same exact repetitive plays over and over. But what I'm going to show in this game is that while the shot profile looks like this, nothing was the same from Bam Adebayo in terms of sets, actions, where he was getting his shots, and how he was getting his shots. So I'm going to come back to that at the end of this. But let's just start out with some of the possessions that we saw. This was early on. Little side pick and roll from Tyler, just lobs it up to Bam. Simple play. I don't really have to go over much with this one. But what I do want to say with this shot is you see the time on the clock. This is basically their first offensive possession in this game. One of the most important things for Bam and this Heat team is to get Bam going early in games. I always say over and over that rhythm players are always thought of as like shooters, like a Duncan Robinson or a Max Strus. Once they get into rhythm, they get into rhythm. Bam Adebayo is the biggest rhythm player on this Heat team. Once he gets going early in the game, it's hard to stop him from there because he gets confidence. He starts going in a certain direction that you want him going offensively. Next one, it's a double drag where Kyle's going to pop out in the initial screen and Bam's going to roll with Tyler. Something I said before the game was they were going to have to spam the Tyler Bam pick and roll. For one, Kyle's minutes have been pushing upward. Kyle was sick in this game. Like you want Tyler and Bam kind of creating the show, and that's what you saw them going to a lot. Right here, just hits the pocket pass for Bam. Bam off the roll, just going to take that nice little push shot in the middle of the floor. Tyler had a little bit of an interesting game because he had 10 assists. He had 5 turnovers. It was a game where they just kept sending 2 to the ball at him all game. It's a little bit of deja vu from last year's playoffs that he's going to see a ton of. The teams are going to see how he reacts. He had a couple turnovers, like I just said, but I thought he did a very good job hitting the roller in this game, whether it was Bam, whether it was Dedmon, whether it was an overhead pass, pocket pass. Like I thought he did a pretty great job just getting these type of looks for guys like Bam, who ended up, like I said, getting up to 38. But now we're at 9 minutes left in the first quarter. He already has 2 buckets. Now we're running in transition here. And the reason he's running in transition here and kind of creating for himself is because he's in a rhythm. He got shots early in the game. So now you see him getting in his bag a little bit, looking more comfortable, throws a little in and out, takes a tough shot, probably could have been a foul because he got some contact, ends up getting the bucket. Fast forward a minute later. Now we're still intentionally getting the ball to Bam, which once again, I'm going to go over a specific play and action that they're running for him because one of the major things about Bam is they need to run stuff for him. It can't just be like kind of just pick and roll dives and just him getting it off the roll. When they start running actions for him, like that's when this starting lineup unit, once they get healthy, takes the next step in general in that kind of evolving way. Right here, Kyle Lowry handoff, rolls into a pick and roll. Once again, Porzingis being this drop was pretty much food for Bam because they just knew that if he got by, because he's quicker, first of all, Porzingis is not playing like super deep drop. If he gets by that second level in Porzingis, it's a bucket because Kyle's going to feed him and it's going to be an easy dunk. But as I go back over time, all he has to do right here, because if he's playing by the rim, it's a different story because now it's focusing on Kyle taking the pull up. Right here, it's pretty clear what they need to do. It's just Bam run by him. It's going to be an easy lob. And that's what they're able to do. Now, this is my favorite play of the game. This was the play where I say that when they start running actions for him like this, it's a game changer. And that's when this offense will probably really take the next step when they kind of hand the keys over to Bam in this way. I mean, consistently, if they do it consistently. But Tyler Hero runs down the floor. Nikola Jovic, as I go back a little bit, Nikola Jovic is going to set a little pin down right here. It's on the left box. It's leading to Bam kind of getting the ball. Usually they run this type of stuff where it's a screen into Bam, kind of going to screen for Tyler. So it's just kind of a different matchup to force a mismatch out of the pick and roll. But that's not what happens here. He sets a pin down for Bam to get it off a curl. Now, he comes off the curl, hits a little mid-range jumper in the middle of the floor. That is the biggest thing that we could see from last night. Like if there was anything, any play, any bucket to take away from last night, while there were a lot that were probably more flashy than that one for him, that's the most important. If they can run actions for him consistently, where they're running pin downs for him to catch off the curl and rise up over the top, defenses really can't do anything with that. There's nothing you can really do in defending that because Bam's going to his rise up and his Spo was talking about it last night. His release point is just so high that you just can't really alter that type of shot, even if you are Porzingis. So let's keep going through some of the plays. Here's another one. I thought so. Now we have a lot of role plays. We have an action where they sent them off a pin down. We have a mid range bucket in transition. Now we're going into the post up game. So now we're seeing him kind of late in the shot clock. There are kind of ideas. Let's fit him into a post up and just see what he can do. He has extra size. He's patient. He's patient. He's patient. He ends up turning around for that little fall away jumper. So as you see, there's a lot of different shots he's getting. This isn't like the same exact type of look he's just getting every time. Now, another one, as I said before, just get by that second level of defense in Porzingis. If he's not going to play in that deep drop closer to the rim and he's going to play a little bit higher up, there's one result, and it's get the ball up to Bam after he does a quick dive. So right here again for Tyler, gets right behind him. Bam gets a nice dunk over the top. It was just pretty simple, the stuff that they wanted to get to. Now we're going to go back to Tyler. Tyler's seeing two on the ball, like I said a ton before. He's going to go over. He's going to flash over to Tyler. Quick pocket pass, just a great pocket pass in general. Porzingis makes a business decision to get that out of the way for Bam. That was more about Tyler because their connection was clear in this game, whether there was bad possessions or good possessions. But the way that they were able to enter offense just by these two and just reacting to the defense more than they weren't pushing. Like it was just really was reacting. Whatever they threw at them, they were going to have to figure out because that's not what the Heat's offense is about. It's not about forcing things, especially with Bam. Keep going. Another one right here, once again in transition. This play was interesting to me because at the game, it was a side out of bounds in the backcourt, and Spoelstra was calling a play where he kept yelling, like kind of putting his hands out sideways, calling out a play. And it's funny in hindsight seeing how this play worked out because it basically meant that they just wanted to space out all four guys. Like it was a play where just get out of the way, space out, see who helps, and let Bam go one-on-one right down the floor. So right here you see three guys on one side of the floor, and you see Tyler on the opposite side of the floor. Bam can just go right by, get to the basket. When he can run that type of one-on-one game, when he's already rolling in a game, that's pretty the ultimate thing you want from him. Back to the post-up thing. Their kind of hub, as you see 7 seconds on the shot clock, as you see before, as I said. Their hub late in the shot clock was pretty much Bam, get in the post, see if you can get a nice little turnaround, see if you can draw a double. We'll just work out of that. Whatever happens, whatever they do defensively. Right here, they're not setting a double fully, so he gets however he wants, gets as low as he wants. Once again, there was patience on that post-up, and he hits the little turnaround post-hook. Now, final possession. This is a play where it was 106 to 105, the Heat lead. They obviously need a bucket with 25 seconds left. Kyle Bam pick and roll was kind of the idea here. I know they go to Kyle Bam pick and rolls a lot over Tyler Bam pick and rolls late in games. I think there's more trust that Kyle can make the passes. You see where Porzingis is playing right now. High up at the three-point line. They're worried about Kyle's pull-up, I guess, a little bit. Now Bam can roll, gets it ahead of Porzingis. Porzingis actually defended it and stayed in front of him, but obviously Bam just hits an incredibly tough shot with the left to put this game out of reach, to put it at 3, and then they ended up closing it out. But going back to the shot profile, it's pretty like I said, it's pretty interesting because it was not the same shot over and over. When he's able to diversify his game while also getting almost every shot, every make inside the paint, that's the way. And then it's obviously if he could do that as with a healthy group and a starting lineup, and they can continue to go to him consistently within the offense, intentionally running sets for him, that's going to be the next step for this Heat team.